Feliz Dia de los Muertos, happy Halloween, happy spooky season, whatever you find your little spooky self getting into this season, or maybe you don't celebrate anything, in which case, to all of you, I say, hey babes! Welcome back to MoonbaeCrochet. It's Brandy, and today, do you love my little top? Okay, I wanted to get into the spirit. It is actually pajamas from Walmart. It was a set of like top and pants, which by the way, let me just say, Walmart sizing is so forgiving. Whatever size you think you're gonna need, size down if you want it to be fitted. But hey, it's PJs. I don't mind if they're a little big. And it's just super cozy. Love it. I mean, they're probably sold out by now because Halloween is like practically over, right? Can you believe it's Christmas in 2 days? So today I wanted to bring you a short video. I know I say that all the time, but today I think it really is going to be a short video, but I don't know. According to the timestamp, I guess you'll see whether I'm lying or not. But I wanted to start a little series on this channel called Testing Etsy. I don't know, maybe we'll come up with like a cuter name than that. Testing Etsy just kind of was the first thing that came to my head. But if anybody has any like name suggestions for this series, let me explain what it is first, and then you can let me know maybe in the comments down below. But for Testing Etsy, I wanted to do a thing where I go on Etsy, I purchase a crochet pattern, I make the pattern, I show you like my creation, I let you know how it worked out, how I liked the pattern, whether or not I think you should go buy it, who I think it would be best like fitted for basically, and yeah, just all around like my review of an Etsy pattern. I think it's like a good way to kind of spread the word on like small businesses who create patterns, fun content for me because I just get to crochet things and talk about them, which is fun. So I think this will be a fun series for all of us. And since we are coming up on the end of spooky season, for my first episode of Testing Etsy, I wanted to do like a spooky pattern, and I found the cutest Dia de los Muertos pattern. I've never stated this in a video before, but I am Mexican, half Puerto Rican. But with that being said, I actually grew up in a religious household where not only did I not celebrate Dia de los Muertos, I actually didn't celebrate Halloween either. I didn't celebrate anything, actually. As I grew up, my mom was kind of like more lax. She's like, hey, you know what? If you don't subscribe to these beliefs, you don't have to. Like, go celebrate whatever you want. And honestly, I love that about her. So anyways, I don't know. I feel like that might be why I'm such like a holiday nut now that I'm an adult, because I didn't really do it as a child. Although I will say, Halloween, not my favorite holiday. Don't get me wrong, I like it. I think it's cute. I love seeing everybody's like costumes. Like, dude, I could scroll through hours and hours of TikToks just like seeing people's cute costumes and like their couples costumes, them doing like little lip syncs to whatever character they're dressed up as. I love Halloween as an idea. I love candy, but I'm lazy. I'm never going to be the person that's like putting in dollars and effort into creating these looks. So what I'm going to do is chill in my little, Halloween PJs, maybe throw on a Stephen King film and call it a night. Anyways, I say all that to say, I never grew up celebrating Dia de los Muertos, and I think even if I didn't grow up in a religious household where we didn't like celebrate holidays, I don't think that I would have celebrated Dia de Muertos because my family's Mexican, but like I feel like we're not that Mexican. You know what I mean? I feel like that sounds weird to say, but yeah, I don't know. Like my family grew up here in the US. Like my grandpa was from Mexico, but he wasn't really around. That's a whole other thing. Anyway, point is, we didn't grow up with these traditions, but learning about Dia de Muertos and stuff now in my adulthood, I've never celebrated it. I'll start there. But I do think it's like a beautiful thing, like just like a day, like celebrating your past ancestors, putting up their photos and like putting out things that they loved in their life. I just think that's like a beautiful celebration of life and stuff like that. So yeah, I just think it's a gorgeous holiday, and if you celebrate it, happy Dia de Muertos. I know that it kind of goes on for a few days. Again, I'm not going to pretend and like sit here like I know exactly everything about it. I'm still kind of learning about it now, but for this spooky edition, our first ever episode of Testing Etsy, I found this adorable pattern here. This is the name of said Etsy shop. I, for the life of me, do not know how to pronounce it, and I don't want to butcher it. Okay, yeah. It is for two amigurumi named Pedro and Carmencita. When I tell you, I've actually had this pattern in my cart, I think for like 2 years, and I like barely bought it because I wanted to do this series. I was like, this is the perfect timing, let's get it done. And oof, gorgeous, gorgeous. I cannot wait to show you my little creations. And first of all, can we start with the names? You know I love me a Pedro, okay? So first of all, price point. At the time of filming, the pattern I believe is $4.53. So, okay. Whether or not I think that's a good deal, personally, I do. It's less than $5 and you're getting a pattern for 2 amigurumis, which some of the aspects of them are very similar, but other aspects are very different. So I think it is very worth the price. Very well written. The pictures are very like easy to follow, and there's one part in the pattern, I'm not gonna like give it away because I think you need to pay for the content if you want to see it, but she wrote like a little backstory for these 2 characters, Pedro and Carmencita, and it is so cute. Like it just gave the pattern like a whole new vibe. Like you're creating like these little characters that are like they were really alive at one point, and it's just so adorable to me. So now for the bread and butter of this video, let me show you my Pedro and Carmencita. So here is Pedro. Okay. Look at this little sombrero. Now, there are a few things that I tweaked because I am who I am. First of all, his sombrero was supposed to have little like white embroidery kind of all the way around for like an extra design. Oh, also, the brim is not supposed to be black. It was supposed to be gray all the way up and then with little white embroidery all the way around. But I lost a game of yarn chicken while crocheting Pedro. So for the last, like the brim, for the brim row, I was like, you know what, let me just do black since the other elements in his outfit are also black. And I feel like it doesn't look bad. I just couldn't be bothered to add the embroidery around his sombrero. It just, I'll get to it when I talk about like who and who not I think that this pattern is for. But yes, I tweaked that. As far as like, I'm not the best. I don't like sewing. You guys know this, okay? But so as far as like his face details, you know, maybe they're not the cleanest, but I think they're really cute. His little skeleton nose, he is a skeleton, if it's not obvious, right? So his little skeleton nose, I think, came out really cute, and this here is his mustache. Again, I'm not the best at sewing, so I don't know if that's coming across perfectly well, but the little, like, embroidery around his eye, I was going to do it in a different color, just to make it kind of pop a little bit. And because I know, like, the sugar skulls and stuff usually have, like, different colors around the skull, but the way that the pattern designer designed it, she did, I'm assuming it's a she, you know what, I don't know why I said that, sorry, they did it gray around his eyes, and I think, you know what, it kind of makes him look like he is like an old-timey like black and white photo, so I decided to just go ahead and do the gray around his eyes as well. The only other design part that I did tweak was his little bow tie here. In order to create the little dimple, the crease in the bow, and to get it around his neck, I was supposed to do a chain and then like attach it back here. I couldn't be bothered. I did the bow part, and then I just cut a piece of yarn and I wrapped it around to create the crease, and then I just tied it in the back, so that's not supposed to be there. But it's just because I'm lazy and I wanted to get this video up. Again, I'm a day late on my upload schedule. Okay, this video was supposed to be up yesterday, but it's okay. We're forgiving ourselves around here. We're giving ourselves grace. I have a heavy content schedule that I'm trying to stick to here. And you know what? Being one day late on certain uploads, not the worst thing in the world, I will say. So here is my little Pedro, and I love him. I think he is so adorable. But for the real star of the show, I must show you my Carmencita. How adorable is she? I cannot. Her little dress. Here, you know, it called for red yarn, and I just decided to pull out my sparkly red yarn because why not? But truthfully, I think you could get super creative with the colors that you use on the Carmencita. But look at her hair, you guys, okay? This was a lot, okay? So you have to, like, crochet the wig cap, and then you gotta stick in strands of yarn to create the braids, and then you gotta fold the braids up and sew them on. Like, you guys, this was a lot, okay? But the result, in my opinion, so worth it. Look at her little flowers. I did one red one to match the one like red stripe in her dress. I added yellow ones to match her top, and then for the last color I was gonna do pink, but I had this bright orange just readily available, and it did kind of remind me of the marigolds that, you know, people put out for Dia de Muertos. So I just decided to go with the orange, and then I did the embroidery around her eyes orange as well, and I think it was a very cute design choice. I just feel like she pops a lot, and just look at her, you guys. Like, oh, I love it so much. Also, when I grabbed the gray yarn, her hair is supposed to be a little bit darker than this, because it's supposed to like kind of contrast the gray in his suit. This is supposed to be light gray, which, you know, it looked lighter when I first grabbed it, and this one looked darker when I first grabbed it. And now when I'm looking at them, I mean, now that I'm looking at them on camera, this one looks lighter than that one, so, you know, I don't know what happened there, but you know what? It's okay, because even though it's not that dark on her, I actually feel like it makes her look like a grandma. And so it just looks like somebody's cute little grandparents. I adore them. I think that they came out so beautiful. So for pattern design, I will give this one a solid 10 out of 10. This pattern designer went off with these. I am so happy that I bought this pattern. As far as this pattern being beginner friendly, I will give it maybe an 8 out of 10. It is definitely written with very simple stitches. It's like single crochets, half double crochets. I think like the craziest stitch that gets used is a treble crochet, and even that, I mean, I think it's pretty simple, so pretty easy to follow. I think the most complicated parts are like the little details that you gotta sew on, like you gotta make the flowers and then kind of fold them in a way where they look like flowers, then sew them on and stuff. So I don't think the pattern is necessarily complicated. It's just kind of like maybe like a very, very, very beginner. Probably this isn't the one for you, but when you get a little bit of experience making amigurumi like under your belts, I would venture out and say just try it. Now, do I think this pattern is for everybody? No. I will say, I mean, I think it is a beautiful pattern, and like anybody who enjoys making amigurumi will enjoy it, but if you are a person who enjoys low sew or even no sew patterns and you can't stand patterns that have a lot of sewing involved, this is not the pattern for you. I'm so sorry. There's so much sewing involved. The flowers on Carmencita's head, the braids, getting the braids up, and like they don't. Okay, so the pattern, I think the one flaw that I found in the pattern is that it doesn't really explain what you're supposed to do with the ends of the braids, and like when you are sewing them to the head, what you're kind of supposed to do to make them look okay on the top. I just had to wing it and just, you know, sew over top to kind of flatten it a little bit. So, you know, it worked out. I have a lot of crochet experience. It didn't bug me that much, but I know, like when I was a very beginner, if everything wasn't like, if you didn't hand walk me to that finish line, I probably wasn't getting there. Like I didn't know how to wing it. I didn't know how to just, you know, be free and follow my heart when I'm crocheting. Like I really needed everything lined out perfectly for me. So if you're that type of person, maybe this isn't the pattern for you. I would still say, you know, I think it's worth it. But again, like not everybody's gonna love everything, right? But yeah, there's a ton of sewing involved in this project, and you know me, I hate sewing. Okay, I still enjoyed myself, but my finger feels so raw from like all the rubbing on the sewing needle. Also, this pattern is not one that is like, okay, I'm gonna be in and out of this pattern in like 2-3 hours. Like this pattern took me a few days to finish, and that's because, you know, I do like an hour here, an hour there. I'm kind of easily distracted as well, so I don't know exactly how long it took me from start to finish, but this is definitely like a project that would take you a couple days to finish if you're not somebody to just sit there and crochet all day long and whatever. So not the quickest pattern, but beautiful nonetheless. Overall, I gotta say I'm giving this pattern a solid 9 out of 10. I would definitely go purchase if you have been looking for something different, because I feel like so many amigurumi patterns like can be so similar to each other. You don't see too many things that are like out there that aren't, you know, I don't know, like based on characters that are already a thing. And this pattern was just so much fun. If you celebrate Dia de Muertos, or you just like sugar skulls, you're into like the cutesy Halloween decor, this is definitely something fun to add into your you know, your decor collection. You can totally like customize his suit. Like if I had made his suit like white with like gold details, he would look like Ernesto de la Cruz, and I love that. And then her, oh my gosh, so much potential here. Like there is so many different colors you could do. You could just make her completely your own, and I think it's just so fun. So yeah, I know I didn't really say too much, but I am definitely giving this pattern a solid 9 out of 10. I would highly recommend you go check it out if you are interested. This video is like in no way, I'm not getting like paid or anything to promote this Etsy shop or this like pattern. I just wanted to start doing something fun to share new patterns with you guys that you've maybe never seen before, test them out for myself. It's kind of like I bought this pattern so you don't have to, except you will have to if you want to make it, because obviously I'm not out here sharing other people's patterns. But I think it just like is a fun way to show off patterns that I think are great. And you know, if you find them pretty or you just like, you know, the work that I did and you are interested in going to purchase the pattern yourself, then you can feel free to do that. And I'm going to leave it in the description below. I hope you all have a safe end to your spooky season, and we're getting into the hollies and jollies very soon. So many fun videos to come for you guys. I am super excited. I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your day, week, month, night, whatever you're having. Please enjoy yourself. Please stay safe out there, and I will see you guys in the next one. Say bye.